All right, what's up, guys? Farzine Vasugian here with you as the Chiefs lead the Broncos 14-0. And on ESPN, guess who's on the front page? Taylor Swift and Donna Kelsey. All right, enough of that. This is quite the interesting game here. But hey, Chiefs defense doing their job today. So far, holding the Broncos to 0 points. I think giving up even 20 each of the last 2 weeks. I think the defense coming out a little stronger on this one, wanting to hold the Broncos to 0. And so far, they're doing exactly that, which is good to see. Chiefs offense has not been in sync. In fact, let me see. Do we have enough people watching right now? I want to wait a little bit. I want people to hear about these stats here I have. Obviously, let's talk about Butker for a second. This is someone who missed some time last year due to the ankle injury in week 1. Wasn't really himself. He did have the longest field goal in team history, but still was not perfect. Came through with the game-winning kick in the AFC Championship game and in the Super Bowl. And so far this year, Harrison Butker has been perfect. PATs, field goals, long range, short distance, has been perfect all year long. That's been great. Now, a lot of people, the good news is there. The other bit of good news is Travis Kelce. You know, I think there was some concern about him and how he would do in this game. 7 catches for 109 yards. That is the first 100-yard receiving performance by a Chiefs player this year. First 100-yard receiving performance, I should say, by a Chiefs player this year. Has not been very good, to say the least. The highest was Sky Moore in week 2. So that's wild. Anyway, listen to these. Chiefs receptions in the first half. The tight ends. I'm not going to go individually. I'm just going position groups. Tight ends, 8. Running backs, 4. Wide receivers, 3. The only wide receivers tonight who have receptions, Kadarius Toney has 2, one of them for a touchdown, the only touchdown of the game, and Rashee Rice with 1. That's not good. Receiving yards in the first half, tight ends, 122, running backs, 25, wide receivers, 15. I mean, listen, this was already a problem. But I think, and if anything, when you're playing the 32nd ranked defense in almost every single freaking category, and your wide receivers can't get going with the MVP throwing the ball at them, you got to do something, man. I mean, go get McCole Hardman back at this rate. You have to. This is not going to give the Chiefs a good shot at winning the Super Bowl. Yes, they're right now the best team in the AFC with the number 1 seed. Obviously, it's very early, but when it really comes time to playing a team like Miami, you know, throwing to your running backs and tight ends, I mean, it's not going to get you very far unless Jerick McKinnon plays like he did last year. And we haven't seen that Jerick McKinnon so far this season. We just haven't. Your only 100-yard receiving performance is happening right now with Kelsey at 109 yards. That's not good. So this isn't right now the prettiest set of stats. Again, the wide receivers have less catches and less receptions, less yards than the running backs. That's not good. That to me like needs to change. I know it's 13-0 right now, although I think a lot of people feel like this is I try to always, if things are going well, I think it's important to be optimistic, but man, it's just hard to feel good about this score when the wide receivers are playing so poorly. This is pretty tough right now. See, Samuel says should have traded for DeAndre Hopkins. I think you mean signed because he was a free agent. But the problem is, they were in a salary cap bind with Chris Jones at the time. David's asking, or I'm sorry, Joshua's asking, what year was it? We had a wide receiver, no touchdown. That was 2014. It's funny. KU football in 2012 did not throw a touchdown pass to a wide receiver, and then 2 years later, the Chiefs do it. So a college team and an NFL team within, 40 miles apart have a season where they don't throw a touchdown pass to a wide receiver. That's just bad. Myron says Mahomes is just forcing the balls because the receivers cannot get loose. I suppose that's part of it, but it's the Broncos. Like, this is the 32nd rank. I want Justin Ross on the field. How many snaps has he had in the first half? One of the things I liked about Justin Ross in the preseason is that he was able to create some separation. Well, the receivers right now are not cutting it. Sky Moore, I mean, I try to be very patient and cautious of using the word bust. But we are almost a year and a half into Sky Moore's career. We're just not seeing him, and he's getting more opportunities now than he did in years past. Kadarius Toney, I know he got a touchdown tonight, which is great, the only touchdown of the night. But man, his progress is taking forever. The amount of catches that Kadarius Toney's getting for the amount of production with the yardage is just not very good. You look at on the season, not including tonight, KT has 14 catches for 83 yards. If anyone in a game has 14 catches, that should easily put them over 100 yards, and KT doesn't even have that on the season. I think the 2 catches he has today might push him over 100. No, never mind. I got his yardage mixed up with Isaiah Pacheco's. Kadarius Toney has 2 catches for 8 yards. Again, I know he has the only touchdown of the game, but the wide receiver production is just so bad right now. I try not to be too pessimistic, especially when you're leading 13-0 at halftime against a division rival that you've beat 15 times in a row. Okay, see, Jacory's asking a really good question. This is what I've been asking for a while. What has happened to MVS? I said before today, the game, during the pregame live stream, I said in training camp, we heard all about how Mahomes and MVS are in sync. They're doing really well. That has not carried over to the regular season. It just hasn't. MVS does not have a catch today, nor a target. I already went over the catches. Sky Moore, no catches, but has been targeted twice. Rashee Rice, 1 catch, 1 target. Kadarius Toney, this is bad. 2 catches, 5 targets. I mean, you look at Kelsey. Kelsey has 7 catches. All of the passes targeted at Kelsey have resulted in a catch. I mean, that's not good. That you gotta figure this shit out if you're Brett Veach. In fact, in 10 days, not to look too far ahead, we still have a half to play, but you're playing a Chargers team that, no, they have not been perfect, but offensively speaking, the Chargers have been pretty damn good. Thank God for this defense, but man, the wide receivers, they really are the weakest link on this team. They are holding the offense back right now, and I don't know realistically what can Brett Veach do to solve this mid-season. Kadarius Toney, I think is the most surprising because this is someone who came in the middle of last year, picked up the offense great. It's not easy to pick up an offense and learn it mid-season. It's just not. But Toney figured it out last year, it felt like, when he was available. My only, the hope that I'm relying on right now is Justin Ross. Use Justin Ross. What do you have to lose? Because MVS isn't doing shit. Justin Watson, who leads your team in receiving yards by a significant margin. I mean, we're not seeing him in this game. He hasn't even been targeted in this game. I don't know if he's at a snap or not, but that needs to change. I will just say defensively, I didn't really spend a lot of time talking about the defense in this live stream. What a half. Chris Jones, another sack. Chris Jones continuing to make it every single game. Chris Jones is on pace to break his own record for the NFL record, by the way, for most consecutive games with a sack. That's, those incentives look pretty nice, right? That always helps out. Drew Tranquil, this guy's played great football so far for the Chiefs this year. Great offseason addition. And Justin Reed, who I honestly think is one of the more underappreciated players on the team. He went out there and got a sack on Russell Wilson on that 4th down play, forcing him out of bounds. So that's good to see. The Chiefs defense has been playing lights out. How many first downs do the Broncos have? It's not very many, even in that 2-minute offense, which is something, the 2-minute drill is something the Chiefs defense struggled with immensely last year. And I was very critical of Spags for that last year. The Chiefs defense, especially in the 2-minute tonight, fantastic. All year has been great. Total first downs, if I can find that, only 4 of them on the ground, 1 of them passing first down. So, yeah, look at this. Chiefs have 13 first downs. Broncos have 5. Yardage, more than double the amount. Chiefs have 227. The Broncos have 94. So, man, 227, that's not bad. That's actually good. Very good. But it just doesn't feel that way with the way the offense is playing. Obviously, a missed opportunity. My biggest criticism of Andy Reid, that fake field goal where they lined up to do the tush push. I actually thought it was like a cool thing to see, like all of a sudden, you're going, because the fans were booing. Everyone wanted to go for it. But man, why are you wasting personnel like that? You have a kicker who's just hanging out in the back for no reason, and a punter who, how much does, I was about to say Dustin Colquitt, how much does Tommy Townsend weigh? 160, 180? I mean, if I need someone to do the tush push, at least put Chris Jones in there. Like, don't put Tommy Townsend. That's not going to help you, especially when you've got 300-pound defensive linemen on the other side who are already, even though they weren't ready for it, I guess they technically were, they at least had the personnel for it to try to stop that. So that was a little weird. But yeah, a lot of you guys, I see you guys in the comments, the wide receivers, a lot of people are not happy about the wide receivers right now, and that needs to change. I don't know what you do, but we're going to get out of here. Hey, guys, please come back after the game. We'll be doing our post-game show. That is going to coincide with our podcast, the Chiefs Zone podcast. We will recap the first half. Hopefully things keep up and we see a Chiefs win. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Talk to you after the game.